are now listening to The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys. The Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys is a John Mitchell story and is brought to you by Cine Downloads. Narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Previously on the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys.
It explained to my eyes that this mission would be beyond us at this stage. 4 of us alone would fight a courageous but endless battle.
Kok Wang!
Have you spoken to management yet? Have they approved your wish list?
We are meeting management in half an hour.
Now the next part of the story. Episode 11. Cheng Fu and Kok Wang have arrived at the location of the meeting with the temple management. It is being held in a very pricey Italian restaurant. They were unable to park the battered camper van in the restaurant's car park, as every single space had been taken up by a fleet of identical black Series 5 BMWs. The camper van was parked around the corner. Yinghua and Xingti were left inside the van to await the result of the meeting. As Cheng and Kok enter the building, they are intercepted by doormen who ask them to wait outside the doors of the dining area until they are called in.
Hey you, stay there. It's a private function. No, you're not going through that door. You stay right there.
Word would be sent into temple management that they have arrived.
You're not going through that door, all right? Hey you, I'm watching you. Stay right there. Yeah, you. Look through the window if you want. Look at them eating food, but you're not going in.
Cheng and Kok peer through the glass in the doors to see that management, rather than consisting of 1 or 2 people, actually consist of 23 men, all are dressed expensively and are wearing valuable watches and other accessories. They watch as these managers are fed sumptuous food whilst clicking their fingers to be brought more bottles of wine and bottled Spanish citrus lager. They are loud and boisterous. Their conversation ranges from discussing the best places to ski to the best kinds of bottled mineral water to buy. They discuss their considered career projections, which would consist of staying at the temple for a few years before leaving with a golden handshake and bumper pension pot before moving into an even more generous position at some bland organization or corporation. After an hour, 3 lavish courses of food and multiple bottles of wine, the bloated managers unbutton their bottom shirt buttons and flop back into their chairs. They are now ready to conduct their meeting with the temple staff. A doorman is dispatched and he leaves the room. Cheng Fu has spent the last hour on a leather sofa meditating, or more accurately, sleeping, with big gobs and bubbles of drool dampening his white beard. Kok Wang has spent the last hour perfecting his presentation technique in the mirror.
Hey, baby.
So far, it consists of taking off his sunglasses and winking.
I'm so cool.
He has practiced this 248 times.
Hey, baby.
The doorman comes out and tells them that they are ready.
Oh, you two. Yeah, they're ready in there now.
Kok shakes Cheng, wakes with a start and mumbles about his meditation being a successful journey.
All right, yeah, follow me now. Yeah, come on, follow me. No, not him, me.
They both follow the doorman into the dining area. Inside the room, the tables have been arranged into a single long table where the managers are arranged along both sides, with Steve, the manager, in the middle. As the 2 temple staff enter the room, Steve stands up and greets them both.
Hello.
Cheng Fu nods with a little smile on his face. Kok looks around at all the managers and decides to try his presentation technique.
Oh, yeah, baby.
He takes his sunglasses off and winks.
Oh, yeah, baby.
No one seems to notice So he replaces his sunglasses, then repeats the technique, but this time trying to be even cooler. Luckily, this time one of the managers notices his well-practiced presentation, but Cock's feeling of triumph quickly turns to panic as the manager who saw him starts to wink back and smiles suggestively. Steve beams a welcoming smile and addresses the two temple employees.
Sorry guys, we couldn't invite you to join us, as this was a management level discussion group, and there wasn't enough seating left anyway. You know what it's like with health and safety these days. Fire regulations, all that. I remember you, Cheng, from our time back in Hong Kong. Glorious days they were, I'm sure you'll agree.
Cheng Fu scowls.
I don't know the man next to you, Cheng, but I'm pretty sure he's just as capable a demon hunter as yourself.
Cock Wang smiles and nods while avoiding eye contact with the winking manager.
So, just a quick introduction for your benefit. Here are all your management team for the duration of the contract. There are 23 of us all in total, which I'm sure sounds a lot, but is in fact a necessity. We now have all the bases covered to ensure maximum performance, to deliver this contract on time and under budget for the council. Only by having such a large deployment of management can we securely bring the required level of efficiency to proceedings.
This statement is followed by much cheering and hurrahs from the assembled management group.
In order for us to consistently deliver high performance from our team to help you do your job, we employ a top-down strategy of beneficial incentives. That means we continually invest in our management members through financial incentives and other perks. We spend money on ourselves to keep ourselves focused, to deliver to you guys the high performance support that you need. This also means that we have invested in top-level office space, with designer furniture and fittings and a fleet of new company cars. With these things in place, I am confident that we are now capable of helping you to the maximum level that you need.
Is there any money left to help us?
Cheng asks skeptically. The management team all laugh.
Of course there is, Cheng. We are not charlatans here. We are here because we are the best management team available, and I assure you that there is plenty of money available for you guys to get rid of the citywide problem.
Cheng and Cock look unconvinced, which irks Steve.
Okay, I'm not feeling the love from you guys, but that's okay. Let's move on. So, have you got your report and list of requirements for us to browse?
Cheng nods to Cock, who opens his suit jacket and takes out the report and Polaroids. He passes the items over to Steve, who gladly receives them. Cheng notices that there's only one copy of the report, and it looks like Ying Hua's original copy. He asks Cock,
I thought you were going to make a new report and make multiple copies.
Yeah, about that. Once I was alone in the camper van with Ying, she got a bit frisky and we remembered that we hadn't seen each other for a long time and things got a little bit steamy and...
And you didn't finish the report?
No. Sorry, Master.
Okay. Well, let's hope that Yunhua's original report has the strength to win them over.
I'm sure it will be fine, Master,
replies Cock unconvincingly. Steve has glanced over the report and handed it around to the other managers. They are finding the report highly amusing and are openly laughing at it. Cheng and Cock are worried by this. Steve turns back to them. He has a big grin on his face.
Guys, did you write this report on a typewriter? It's like you temple workers are stuck in the 1970s. Good grief. The whole project will be a disaster without guidance from us managers.
That typewriter belonged to Ernest Hemingway. He gifted it to the temple after he...
Cock coughs loudly and interrupts Cheng. Cheng takes the hint and stays quiet. Steve and the others weren't listening anyway. They were too busy ridiculing the report.
Look at this, everyone. Whoever typed this doesn't even know what the letter E is. They've put the number 3 everywhere. What's going on? Let's take a look at these pictures. Oh my god. Polaroids. I haven't seen Polaroids since the 90s. This is like I've travelled back in time. Have you guys robbed a museum?
Cheng and Cock look at each other in embarrassment.
What are these pictures of anyway? Is this someone's foot? Is that a cat or a bear? No, it's someone's foot.
Steve passes the Polaroids round to the others who spend some time jeering at them.
Right, that's the comedy section sorted. Now let's look at your proposals, wish list and budget requirements.
The managers fall silent and serious as Steve looks through them.
Do you need all these extra soldiers? 2 chapters brought over from China. That's a lot of people to be housed and fed. Very, very expensive.
Yes, we need them. This job is enormous.
Replies Cheng.
Well, we don't have the budget for all of these extra temple soldiers, but we can let you hire some local people on a minimum wage, 0-hour contracts, may I say? Say 10 members?
Cheng and Cock look horrified.
We should speak to the press about how we're creating jobs here. They'll love it.
We can't do that. They won't be trained. We need trained members who knows what they're doing. It takes years.
The other managers murmur their approval.
Look, you'll have to train them on the job. Or maybe there's a day course at a local college. Have you considered that?
No. It takes many years to defeat demons. Long, hard training.
I'm sure it's not that hard. Speak some mumbo jumbo and throw a fishing net on them. Job done.
This is impossible. You have no understanding of this situation. Things cannot be run like this.
Cock shouts angrily. Steve is annoyed by this show of defiance.
I'm not happy with your attitude. If you're not happy with this situation, then you can walk out that door and we'll replace you both with 0 hours staff as well. People are queuing up for jobs out there. It doesn't bother me who does the job. You're both easily replaced. It's your choice.
Cheng Fu and Cock are both deeply perturbed and look at each other with raised eyebrows.
Look, I don't want to argue. We have the contract, so let's honour it and get this job done. The savings we've just made on premises and not having 2 chapters brought from China frees up money to buy the equipment you need to do the job. So that's a good thing for you guys, yeah?
I suppose that is some silver lining.
Concedes Cheng. Cock stares into space.
Absolutely. So let's see your equipment list.
Steve runs his finger down the list and thinks for a second about each item.
So, all this Kevlar body armour and holographic display helmet shit, it's not happening.
But it's incredibly important.
We can't afford it.
We need the protection and tactical advantage that this gear will give us.
Did the temple use this gear way back in the 15th century? No, obviously not. Yet, they still got the job done. So obviously, it's not needed as much as you say.
But we need to wear something to keep us safe.
Absolutely correct. And we will issue all staff members with high visibility jackets and hard hats and protective eyeglasses. Also, steel cap boots.
Can we have the Temple of Flying Monkeys printed on the back of the high-vis jackets?
Asks another manager.
Yeah, good idea. That will look good when the press take pictures. But get it done somewhere cheap.
Replies Steve, and the other manager nods in agreement.
It's Temple of Killer Tiger Monkeys, not Flying Monkeys.
Interrupts Cheng.
That's Wizard of Oz.
Monkeys, donkeys, whatever. Get the printing sorted, mate.
Manager nods again. Spurred on by being dismissed, Cheng goes on the offensive.
We're going to need a new van. Ours is old and beaten up.
Yeah, it looks like it was driven into a ditch full of zombies.
Adds Cock.
Look, we've just bought a fleet of 23, 5 Series BMWs for management, with the money from the contract. There's nothing left there for a van for you guys.
But it looks bad to be seen in a rusty van. What would the press say?
Asks Cheng wryly.
Yeah, he's got a point, Steve.
Says a different manager. Steve mulls this over a second.
Okay, when the press are around, park the van streets away from the action, and we'll get you a new van when we've looked at the books a bit closer.
We'll need weapons, swords and staffs, and they have to be combat strength. They need to be able to take a hard beating.
No problem. I'll get someone to go down to the garden centre and pick up some garden forks and shovels. Maybe some brooms for you.
What? No! That's not good enough. They have to be magically enchanted for one thing.
Can any of you enchant these things?
Well, Yunwa has some novice skills in that department, but her training is far from complete.
Cool. Get Wing Ya. Do all the enchanting. That's another problem solved.
The managers are starting to clap Steve's performance. Cock puts his sunglasses back on.
We'll need somewhere to base ourselves. A headquarters or somewhere to sleep. You have nice offices for yourselves, you said.
That's right. We've invested heavily in state-of-the-art offices here in the business sector of the city, with glass and steel structures. That makes our temple look modern and powerful.
Can we have space in there to base ourselves for our war on the demons?
No, there's no room there for you guys. We can't have people sleeping there and hitting wooden dummies all day while talking about voodoo or whatever. It's a serious place of work.
But we will need somewhere.
Yeah, okay. I believe there's a garage block around the rear of the offices. We'll speak to the landlord and see about hiring that out for you, and you can stay in there, eh?
A garage block?
Look, you'll be able to park your camper van in there too, so that's a great advantage. You don't look convinced. Okay. It's not ideal, but it's all we can do for the moment with the budget that we have. But we'll constantly monitor the situation, and we'll look towards getting you guys in somewhere better than a garage. You'll have to be patient.
We'll need somewhere in there to create a magically sealed repository for the demons we capture. It has to be rock solid safe. If they get loose, it would cause chaos.
Okay.
We'll hire the entire garage down there.
There's probably a small office around the back, and you could stick them all in there. Okay, so your original project budget was £2 million. I reckon with the agreed adjustments we've just made, you can do the job on the same amount of time for 60 grand. That's one hell of a saving.
Management cheer and bang the table.
1.940 million pounds.
Managers cheer louder. Cheng and Kong are stunned into silence.
Steve, that's cause for another celebration. Should we all go on a company trip to Florida for the week on company expenses?
The manager asks.
Shh, not here, mate. We'll discuss that later.
The manager nods knowingly.
Simon, can you drive by the garden centre on your way home and pick up some gear, brooms and stuff? Also drop the hardware shop for some high-vis PPE stuff. You live close by.
Well, I'm supposed to be going to the Cartier shop to get my wife that bracelet she wanted, and she's going out at 4.
No problem, I'll do it myself. Oh, and don't forget the goodie bags we handed out last night at the contract award party. Had some Cartier jewellery in them.
Management murmur gratified approval.
Oh yeah, cool. Thanks, Steve.
Adds Simon.
You had a party to celebrate winning the contract?
Inquires Cheng.
Yeah, sorry we didn't invite you guys, but we thought you would want to be planning the war on the demons, and we didn't want to disturb you. I know you've got a lot of work to do.
Oh, okay. Yes, we see.
Says Cheng, who is visibly deflated.
Wait, there are demons in the city? Oh my god, we should let someone in to get rid of them.
Exclaims a drunken manager.
Shh, mate. So is that it, guys?
Cheng and Cock feel like they've had their hearts ripped out and are speechless.
Okay, we'll get all gear for you and we'll hire out those garages ASAP. You said Bingaling would enchant all your weapons and you're happy with us getting us some extra staff on board? We'll organise that here and send them down to you at the garage when they're hired.
Cheng and Cock look at each other. Their faces are one of utter defeat. Steve can see that they're not happy.
Look, guys, I know you haven't got what you wanted when you drew up that list, but we have financial commitments and it's just not possible to bring the project home for the kind of outlay you wanted. We all have to work together to make this a success. Cutbacks are a fact of life in this kind of industry. Tough choices have to be made, but it's down to you guys at the coal face. You're the ones who will make this happen and get the job done. You are the salt of the earth, and we all know just how much your contribution is valued.
Cutbacks? I didn't sign up for this shit.
Bursts another manager.
Shh, mate.
The manager goes silent. Cock looks at Cheng for a final reaction. He wonders if Cheng will explode with rage and demand everything with threats. Cheng thinks long and hard. He strokes his beard before speaking.
The man who walks across the mountains has to move with the ravines and cliffs. The mountains decide the journey, not the man.
Exactly, Chung Bo.
Shouts Steve. Cockwang is infuriated and storms out, kicking over a table as he goes. This annoys Steve.
You want to keep an eye on him, Chunga Bing. He's not a team player. He'll cause you trouble.
Cheng Fu is much saddened by the whole meeting and walks out slowly. As he leaves, he hears management calling for port and brandy to be brought in, and there are other cries of, "Where are the dancing girls?" Outside the restaurant, Cock angrily confronts Cheng.
Why did you let them destroy our list? Why did you agree to what they dictated? They have ruined our chances. There is no honour in the temple anymore.
There is always honour. A fight fought with a fist against a dragon is more magnificent than a fight fought with 1,000 spears against a dragon.
Master, we won't win this fight. They have destroyed our ability to function. We need those men and that equipment. This will be a disaster for the temple.
But still, we must prevail. The demon army grows even larger and more powerful. It must be stopped, no matter if we have men and equipment or not. We have no choice but to defeat this evil. We must fight with whatever we have at hand. The war is all that matters. The details are but dust.
Yes, but we're not going to win. Master, how did you and the other old ones let this happen to the temple? Why are these suited idiots even here? They were laughing at us. It is our temple, yet they were laughing at us.
The temple had to change, Cock. Times have moved on. Progress must be embraced. Of all people, I thought you would understand that.
Yes, but this is too much. It's like they are working against us for themselves. That's not progress, it's treason.
If this is the direction that was chosen for the temple, then that is the way it should be. All the old ones voted. Many like me rejected these new and more modern ways. Increased commercialization, competition for contracts, interaction with the real world, but after what happened in Hong Kong, it became obvious to all that things would have to change.
What the hell happened in Hong Kong, Cheng? You never talk about it. No one talks about it.
That's true. I do not talk about it, and neither does anyone else.
Well, what happened?
A frog does not speak of what it has seen in the pond. It only ribbits.
Cheng Fu strokes his white beard. There's an awkward silence. Cock shouts in frustration and punches a lamppost.
Ah!
Listen, young student. I have been in this temple for a long, long time, and things change. People change. Direction changes and philosophy changes. What is important to the function of the temple today will not be important tomorrow. Yes, today we have management structure, but in temple's future, I believe we will look to other ways to run our affairs. Our ideas fade over time, yet time itself is endless.
Well, that's great, Master, but we're still going to get our asses kicked.
Satanic Ritual, Room 23, Floor 34. Memos on the notice board include: when raising the dead, make sure all reanimated corpses are inducted with correct health and safety rules, including where the nearest fire assembly point is. And there was another one. Whoever is stealing other people's food from the office fridge, please be aware that the contents of the white Tupperware box include cursed monkey brains, and the strawberry milkshake in the corner is actually chilled flamingo semen. The chief executive and the other council execs are exhausted.
I'm so tired.
I'm so tired. We've been doing this for ages. What's the point?
Why even bother wasting your time?
They've been working round the clock for weeks to try to contact Satan.
Been chanting this thing over and over and over. What for?
The chief exec looks around the room and regards his staff. They look shattered and resentful.
Oh my God. Why are we doing this?
If there's no point to the assignment, why the hell am I doing it in the first place?
He listens into their conversations and
Suck it.
overhears them talking in hushed tones about this whole thing being a waste of time.
I mean, it's obviously not going to better me in any way.
Oh no, why are we doing this? Why do
This
we
is such a
insist
waste of
on
time.
doing this ridiculous thing?
They want him to finally call time on this plan so that they can go home and relax in their hot tubs, perhaps even play some squash.
I just want to go home.
It's a waste of your time, a waste of my time.
One or two of them are talking about walking out.
I want to go and dress up in my wife's clothes and walk around in front of the mirror.
I want to go dress up in your wife's clothes as well.
He wonders what has happened to the Dark Overlord. They have always in the past received some kind of message or omen from Satan's realm. These came in obscure forms, such as a crow flying into a window or a candle falling over. But this ongoing silence from hell was disquieting. He is sharply brought home from his reverie when he overhears one of the execs openly discussing whether or not to quit being a Satanist and to join the clergy instead. The exec says that the clergy has more depraved fun.
The priests at my local church disco dance with farmyard animals. I want to do that.
The chief exec decides he's had enough of this borderline mutinous attitude from his staff, and he tries to pull them back into line.
Look, I know things are difficult at the moment, and I, like you, am wondering about why there is consistently no reply from hell. I don't understand it at all, but I do know that we cannot afford to stop trying to get some contact with our Lord and Master. We have to keep putting in the hours by repeating the rituals.
This results in some unhappy Satanists speaking out.
We don't want to. We've had enough.
Yeah. Whatever's going on in hell, they've forgotten about us.
There are mutterings of agreement around the room. The chief exec keeps trying.
Well, it's obvious that with all the demons here in the city, then hell is having some extraordinary issues at the moment. Sooner or later, we'll get through to someone.
The unhappy Satanists shout out.
Oh, come on! Who are you kidding? Yeah!
This is a waste of time. I don't see why I should come to work and do this every day. It's boring.
Yeah, it's not in our contracts to do this stuff, so screw it. Let's go play squash.
This last comment spurs the chief exec on.
Well, I'm afraid, gentlemen, that your contracts specify compulsory other duties pertaining to your roles. Other duties in this case mean satanic rituals. If you don't believe me, check your contracts.
The unhappy voices once again speak out angrily this time.
We've been on this from the start.
This is out of order. Other duties could mean anything.
Let's get the union involved.
On hearing this, the room erupts in cheers.
Go on, good wizard. Get in there.
The head of specific integrated economic transitional strategies reluctantly steps away from the window where he has been busy looking at pigeons for the last 45 minutes. He is pushed to the front of the Satanists by the others and stands to face the chief. He clears his throat and addresses them.
Hello, Chief. As you know, I am now the workplace union representative for the management team. Firstly, to be more approachable to my members, I have changed my Satanist name from Blood-Soaked Breastingolver to Good Wizard.
The Good Wizard? What kind of a name is that? It's hardly satanic. Is it? Well, you might as well have called yourself the teary-eyed, pillow cuddler.
Well, yes, that's a good name, actually. Anyway, these contracts. Yes, you have a point about the other duties clause. There's not much we can do about that.
The others moan and complain loudly.
Oh, come on! Who are you kidding?
It is a work activity after all.
The chief smiles smugly.
But if this is considered a work activity, then we demand a ready supply of throat lozenges for all the chanting, as we get quite sore throats, and we also want free energy drinks all day long.
The others cheer, and the chief looks piqued.
All
And also the robes should be classed as workwear, which means they should be supplied by you, with at least 2 sets each. And we also want access to laundry facilities, or if not, we want to get money back from laundering them.
Well, good grief! Do you want the shirt off my back as well? Okay, you can have those things. I'll speak to payroll about the money back thing, and Tracy downstairs she'll sort out the other things. Okay.
Also, we don't like black robes. They're very boring and look a bit 15th century. My members would like something more contemporary that speaks about their lives and desires. So we want orange robes with red tiger stripes.
Are you for real?
Asks the chief incredulously.
And we want capes. Silver capes.
The chief looks on in disbelief. But before he can speak, the good wizard interrupts him with a serious tone.
And if we don't receive these things, then we will raise a grievance against you, and maybe even take you to a tribunal if necessary. I am in the union. I know what I'm talking about.
The others cheer this hardline stance and shout,
Yeah! We want capes! We want capes! We want capes! We want capes!
The chief exec takes a deep breath, then addresses them.
Okay, calm down, everyone. We're not producing a presentation of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat. We are conducting these rituals for extremely important reasons. Now, let me remind you that it is getting harder and extremely expensive keeping this whole damn demon invasion covered up. It is verging on the ridiculous. If this situation gets out of hand, then all of us will lose our jobs and will even get sued. We need the situation, we need it fixed fast, and the only option we have is to contact Satan. I know hell is not responding to us, and I don't know why, but we have no choice but to carry on.
The Satanists moan and groan, but grudgingly accept his viewpoint.
Oh, if we have to, we have to. Oh, I guess we gotta go along with it. Yeah, he makes all the rules.
I'm going to try to speak to the Illuminati again, and if we get the problem sorted out fast, then we may be able to negotiate a massive discount. At the moment, we're looking at going bankrupt really soon. If we go bankrupt, then there'll be cutbacks, and we don't want that. We can only sack so many binmen and street sweepers before there's chaos in the street with rubbish everywhere and rats and health hazards.
The managers look unmoved and stare blankly.
If it gets really bad, each of us may have to give up a day's annual leave.
A sparks uproar from the manager with screaming and shouting, tables being kicked over and a chair thrown through the window. The good wizard frantically calms his members while the chief watches. Once order has been restored, the chief continues.
So, it is decided then? You will get back to the ritual and keep trying to make contact.
The managers reluctantly agree and the chief breathes a sigh of relief.
I guess if we've got
As he rearranges his robes, the good wizard comes over to speak to him. The chief looks up and is instantly deflated.
What now? Do you want inflatable bananas and tickets to the circus?
What? No, of course not. Do you remember the other week when I suggested we speak to the demons and see if we can reason with them?
No.
Well, I did, and you laughed at me while talking about flying ostriches and car-eating monsters.
Well, I have no recollection of that.
Well, anyway, I'm now a union rep, so I believe the demons will want to listen to me. I think I can influence them, and they will want to speak to me, so what do you say? I think it's worth a shot.
Look, if it means that you're over there annoying those poor bastards rather than me, then, I'm all in for it. Speak to Tracy and she'll arrange a time for the rep to get into the cordon.
That's great. Thank you so much. I think I can really make a difference.
Yeah, whatever. Well, take as much time as you like, and don't rush back.
The good wizard has a massive smile on his face. He's pumped up and overjoyed.
This episode was brought to you by Cine Downloads.
Narrated by Dr. Hugh Pincott. Today's episode featured Michael Berryman as Chief Exec, George Wilson as Steve the Manager, Wai Wong as Master Cheng Fu. Other voices provided by Nathan Noura as Kok Wang, John Lee as the Good Wizard, Neil Jane, Paul Cooper, Phil Ward, Roy Westall, John Mitchell, Chris Paul Hero, Dan Schreiber, Dan Scott. Written, produced, edited and directed by John Mitchell. Co-produced by Chris Paul Hero. Sound recorded by Louis Thompson, Chris Paul Hero. Sound engineer Andrew Doc Collins. Theme tune by Jed Gray. Thank you for listening, and watch out for the next episode of the Temple of the Killer Tiger Monkeys.